Hey, this is Chad with BeGoneForGood. I make videos all about adventure motorcycling, from the bikes I've ridden, the trips I've taken, tutorials, DIY, anything I can do on adventure motorcycling. You're gonna find it here on this channel. That sounds like the sort of thing you'd be interested in. Feel free to subscribe, smash that notification button if you want to get updates on any videos that we put out from here. Today, I'm gonna be talking about 5 things you can do during this off season, during this winter, if it's super cold by you, to keep you in the adventure motorcycling spirit. Now I'm pretty lucky because I live in North Carolina, so the weather never gets too terrible, or at least not for too long. But coming from Chicago originally, I know that some guys had to put their bike away for 4, maybe even 6 months because winter was so awful up there. So what I'm doing today is coming up with a few different things that you can do to keep that adventure motorcycling spirit alive if your bike's parked for the winter. First on my list for things you can do this off season, read. Find a book by Ted Simon, Sam Manicom, dozens of other authors. I've actually created a whole list right here that you can check out that give you a ton of ideas for reading during this off season. Number 2 on my list for winter activities that you can do if you're not riding. This might finally be the best time to get all that maintenance done that you've been putting off for the whole year. I know myself, I've got a 16,000 mile checkup that's coming here. Got to change oil, I'm going to be going through new tires, tons of stuff that I'm going to be doing on this bike. And this is the perfect time to do it while it's in the garage. You don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to miss a riding day, because there are no riding days when the snow is on the ground. So this is a great time to get a lot of that stuff taken care of. If it's just adding new accessories or maybe a full overhaul, great. It could be as simple as just going around the bike and making sure that everything's tightened up and torqued to the proper specs. This is a great time to get that taken care of and still keeps you pretty close to the bike for that riding season when it starts up. Next up, we have number 3. It's one of my favorite things to do when I can't get on the bike, and that is just shopping for anything I can motorcycle related. Now this may be somebody that's tumbling down the rabbit hole on Revzilla, or you can go on Amazon and find a billion products available to you as well. But I know that I love shopping for this bike, whether it's the newest bags or the newest gear, the newest jackets and pants that have come out, to just the newest bikes and finding all about the technological advances that they've made with the latest models. I love scrolling through and seeing more and more about the new stuff that's out there, the great things that are out there to buy. And I build little dream lists in my mind of all the gear that I'm going to be getting over that next year for whatever that trip is that's coming up. Welcome to number 4, and there is plenty here, so you don't have to ration your time at all. You can go through several winters with everything that you've got available to you in this number. So what we're going to be talking about is research and planning for the coming year. Now when it comes to research, there are billions of books out there, there's tons of blogs, there's YouTube videos and Vimeo videos, tons of information out there that can keep you up to date on everything that's going on. I know that I've created a couple of videos for the trips that I've taken. I've watched all of the BDR stuff that's out there. And knowing that we've got the Mid-Atlantic BDR coming up this next year, I've been trying to find every video I can to research every mile of that route. Winter is a great time to do this. I know that a lot of us are stuck behind our computers, whether that's because of work or we just can't get outside. This is a great opportunity to just flood yourself with all sorts of information when it comes to that. As far as the research is concerned, let's say you're doing a BDR to the Mid-Atlantic. You can find out about all the hotels and lodges and campsites that you have available to you, eateries along the way that you want to see, any sorts of sites or historical information. There's a ton that you can do just knowing where you next want to go. And it doesn't even have to be something that you're planning for that next year. If your big goal is to travel across Russia, start investing in all that different information that's out there, trying to figure out where you're gonna go, what stops you're gonna make, learn a little bit of the language. There's no end to what you can do when you're off the bike to prepare for your travels that you've got coming up. The other part of this is obviously the planning. Now this is where it comes a little bit more focused. And obviously, if I know I'm doing the Mid-Atlantic BDR, I'm gonna wanna know exactly what that route is, where we plan on stopping, where the gas stops are, what sort of food I'm gonna do. I've been going through and doing different ideas as far as how I'm going to be doing my camping setup this year, if I'm going to be eating off the bike or in restaurants. It's going to be a really different trip this year, and I'm doing all the planning I possibly can to get used to and prepared for that type of thing. There will of course be videos upcoming talking about all those different steps I'm taking, but today we're just talking about planning as being one of those great things you can do while you're off the bike, while you're stuck in the garage, off season, to keep you invested in this lifestyle. Lastly, number 5 And this is one I think everybody's probably not doing enough, and that is to create. I know that I have my channel here. I obviously can do a lot more work when it comes to the videos that I'm putting out. And if you've noticed, we are doing a lot more along those lines. You're gonna see a lot of changes when it comes to the studio that we shoot in, the subjects that we're going over, and I'm hoping to get you a lot of content soon. But you have information out there as well. You have experience. You have things that you've gone through that other people could get great value from. Now's the time. If you're stuck in the garage, if your bike is parked, if you've got snow outside and you're not riding anymore, let's start that blog. Let's start writing more. Let's start videotaping more. Let's start showing those pictures off to people. Let's go through those routes that you've taken, or the things that you want to do, or the plans that you've made, or the things that you've learned since you started riding. This is a great time to start creating and getting more content out there for the community, because again, the more we have information out there, the more that we can touch everybody that we see that's interested in this, the bigger our community becomes, and that's good for all of us together. That's my 5 things that I'm gonna be doing for my winter off season, and I hope that you can join me in a lot of those as well. If you have any questions, anything that I missed, anything else that you're gonna be doing during your off season, leave a comment below. We're trying to put out videos probably about once a week here. We've got a ton of information for you. A ton is coming down the pipe in 2020, and I'm very excited to show everybody here what we're gonna be doing. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very much for your continued support. This is Chad with BeGoneForGood, signing off.